So I've got some updates. First and foremost, I've updated my mod for Kingdom Hearts 2 called Goofy's Gooftastic Adventure, which I haven't actually ever shown on YouTube, but basically it's a mod that reworks the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 2 around the Disney character Goofy. Um, I've updated it because I released it 2.5 months ago and it's received some feedback, some fair and good, very valuable feedback. And I've decided to update it with some changes so I hope that more people find it more enjoyable. First and foremost, I added damage resistance rings in case a player gets stuck at a certain fight or something like that. Because I noticed that some players just couldn't beat the Plando because I made it too hard. Some of the fights are fairly challenging and led to people not being able to beat it, which is not really what I'm going for. I'm not going for a hard mod per se, more like just something that people can enjoy and get through. And so I decided to add these damage resistance rings, which go up in increments of 25%, except for the last two. There's a 99% one and a 100% one, because putting it at 100% introduces some things that could potentially create softlocks in certain fights in the game. I also completely reworked OC because I got some criticisms on that, which are completely fair. Turns out it's not so fun to have to sit around and wait for Goofy to defeat all the enemies in an area, which is fair. And so I completely reworked it. Now you don't have to wait for Goofy to defeat the enemies for you. And it's all fairly doable as Sora, even though he is some stuff happens there. Um, I also reworked final fights a little bit, made it a little bit more different, a little bit more exciting. I attempted to fix the battle level issues on Twilight Town people were having. Basically, the game would bug out and it would do a battle level that was too high, or maybe not necessarily too high. It just gave a health value that couldn't be displayed in the game's on the game, and because it couldn't display it, it just the game it was too high and the game couldn't display it. The game would just crash. You could turn it off, but it made one boss undefeatable, which is a big issue. So I went and I fixed it, or not necessarily fixed it. I think I fixed it. I wasn't ever able to experience the bug myself, but I think I fixed it. Hopefully, I also fixed the cup crashes that some people are having by just removing Panic from like the Pain and Panic duo. I think the little blue guy, I just removed him and replaced him with a T-posing Hades because I thought that was funny. um, and rework makes it work. But for that world, I also forced abilities, as I noticed that for some reason people weren't using Dodge Slash, the best ability in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like literally the best. Like, why wouldn't you want to miss your attacks? And then I changed the Keyblade for Space Sora and Valor Sora to a different weapon that I thought was just more entertaining. It was the... Actually, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's not the base Keyblade. I also removed the cutscene camera adjustments that happen in the original mod, it only happens in STT, but basically I zoomed out the camera and it creates these really awesome moments where you can see like the entirety of the scene or that the developers made, even outside of the intended boundaries. But the issue with that is that sometimes the game doesn't like it, and because the game doesn't like it, sometimes the game will freak out and it'll flash all over the place. And when it does that, it's an epilepsy concern, and I don't want to have any of those risks in the mod, I would say, overall. And that's it. Hopefully these changes help more people enjoy it, especially the damage resistance rings. In case people get stuck, I would much prefer them be able to beat it than not, because it's mainly for fun rather than incredibly difficult, is the goal, really. I also changed one boss because they have one move. So Terra isn't in the Plando or mod anymore, because he has one move where it makes it so you could potentially have to use a magic attack. The problem with using a magic attack is that in situation I put him in, you don't have magic. So you're just stuck there until he defeats you if he uses that move, which is not fun. So I just swapped him out. You're not going to fight him anymore. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, I would say. Yeah, I think so. Hopefully it works and there's no crashes. I don't plan to update it again. This is it, as long as it doesn't crash. I hope it's a fun time for everyone who decides to play it again or give it another shot if they got stuck somehow. Yeah. Happy New Year's. See ya.